Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo flawless on the Master Nightfall 100k with Hunter. For my loadout, I'll be using Top Tree with Gambler's Dodge, highly recommend. Next I'll be using the 7 set off Officer Revolver. Next I'll be using the Truth Teller with Blind Aids. Next I'll be using the Lament exotic sword. For my helmet, I'll be using double sword ammo finder, 10 recovery with shield break charge. Next I'll be using unstoppable hand cannon with 10 mobility, grenade launcher loader with charge up. Next I'll be using the exotic 6 coyote with 10 mobility, concussive dampener, void damage resistance, highly recommend, with taking charge. Next I'll be using 5 recovery, sword scavengers, loosened blade, and a arc mod that I am forced to use because Bungie tells me to. Next I'll be using passive guard, which I highly recommend again, with 5 recovery and global reach. Alright guys, so the Nightfall is Insight Terminus, and I will say that this is my most hated Nightfall. And I will tell you why I'd highly dislike this Nightfall, and now it's much worse than before. And Bungie did say they're gonna do some tweaks with the older, with the strike, etc. But for some reason in this Nightfall, they just made it worse. And I'm gonna be explaining to you why. And of course, we're gonna go for the 100k for the Hunter with the Lament. So I'm going to spare here, and the barrier champion is going to teleport right here. There is a bug where this champion specifically is supposed to be standing where the cave is, and I'm going to take down the second barrier champion up here once I do a visibility. And of course you can see I had a little aim assist, so little things like this can happen, and these barrier champions sometimes can teleport a bit. So once I take down the 2 anti-barrier champions, I quickly dodge to use my invisibility to take advantage since we're on Hunter, and I'm going to do DPS at the anti-barrier. So there are about 3 anti-barrier champions in this room, and you can actually just run away from these ads and you can just make your way to the next area. Now since we're on Hunter for Warlock and for Titan, you can take them down with the Truth Teller and with the kinetic weapon to make more mine cells to clear them much quicker. In this area you can actually blind the cabals and make war mine cells with the kinetic weapon to clear them down. Since we're on Hunter, we're going to turn invisible and take down the anti-barrier champion up ahead. Now through here I turn invisible. I'm going to take down this barrier champion with the Lament. Once I take him down, I'm going to clear the ads that will spawn through the cave. And you can see here I was not being cautious. I totally forgot that there are going to be ads behind me. So I heard them, I heard their footsteps. So always take them down with the Lament. And if you do make a war mine cell, then destroy it. You can clear down the goblins and of course clear down the ads. Now in this footage I decided to wait for my super because the next room is going to be very toxic. And I'll be explaining much more later. What you can do over here is you can just proceed to the next area if you're feeling confident you don't need your super, or you can stay here and just clear down all the ads, and you can actually just farm for your heavy by just killing the cabals or using the Truth Teller, and then hopefully a heavy brick will appear as you can see here, and then you could just proceed to the next section. Alright, so where can I begin for this? So you're going to stare on this plate once the boss disappears. The boss can actually stomp you if you get too close. You must stand on this plate and use your super and just spam the truth teller to blind the ads. And of course you can throw your nade. Here I was trying to do a test run. I was trying to see if I can skip the 2 unstoppable champions. There is a way to do it, but it's very hard to do. I did on my accident test run where I actually skipped the 2 unstoppable champions on my very clean run, and unfortunately I died on that run. And you can see here is once you claim the plate, once you activate the plate, pull back as fast as you can, turn invisible, and take down the 2 unstoppable champions. Like I said before, there is a way you can skip these champions and get platinum. I have tested out, but unfortunately I did die on that run, so I couldn't upload that. Unfortunately, I did not have time to farm hours and hours just to get the 23-minute run, to be honest. So, as you can see here, the unstoppable champions sometimes like to back away, and what you can do here is clear down these war beasts, or the dogs. I like to call them the dogs. And once you stagger the unstoppable champions, you can use your lament to clear them down. Always be cautious with the unstoppable champions where they can actually push you and knock you to the walls where it can lead to a death. Once I clear down all the ads, I'm going to proceed to the next room, which is the most hatred toxic, which is like the most hatred dislike room throughout this entire Nightfall. I haven't even talked about the boss, but I will say there are some bugs with some of the ads that do teleport and barrier champions, which I will tell you which ones that teleport a lot. So when proceeding this area, there's going to be a couple of anti-barrier champions, and there's going to be a task where you need to pick up the ARB charges. So before I talk about that, we're going to take down this barrier champion and just pull back the area where we enter to this room. Pull back, and of course there will be a sniper from the left side. I like to go over here and clear down the scions, or what do you call them? Take down the sniper, and then just take my time. You can actually blind the cabals with the truth teller if you have the blind aids. Even if the truth teller bounces off, you can actually still blind them. Another thing I like to mention is if you do see a warmind cell, you can actually use the truth teller to destroy the warmind cell. Since we cleared out all the ads, I'm going to shoot the boss so we can deal with the first phase. So remember when I was talking about the bugs about champions? Well, this area can be a bit buggy. Since we're in Hunter, I am going to take down the unstoppable champion. If you do take down unstoppable champions, waves of ads will spawn. And of course there's going to be 2 barrier champions. I like to go back here and quickly take them down and hopefully make a warmind cell. Once I make a warmind cell, I like to destroy it with the truth teller or the kinetic weapon. Also be cautious of the arc pull where it can damage you and can kill you if you're not too careful. Once I clear down a couple of ads, then I'm going to take down the barrier champions. Now over here you can actually take down the barrier champions, but in this footage I decided to just take things as slow and steady wins the race. So I'm going to take my time and clear them down safe as possible. So once I take down the barrier champion, I decided to take down the remaining of the cabals. And you can see that these cabals love to teleport, which it did not do that the last time I done this Nightfall. And there's just a lot of bugs, and I just feel like it can be very unpredictable of where the barrier champions will be standing, or they can appear in your face, or the cabals can just teleport behind you or in front of you and then they can kill you. I like to pick up the arc charge and just leave it, and I'm going to take down the anti-barrier champion. There's gonna be these gladiators, these slicers, where they can push towards you and they can two-shot you if you're not careful. Always try your best to use the blind nades or the truth teller to easily take them down. Now the truth teller is actually really good. I might use this weapon again on my warlock or my titan. So once you take down the barrier champion with the lament and take down the remaining adds, you can pick up the orb charge, and then we're gonna go to the second phase. So these dudes, or the slicers, always take them down. They're very dangerous. Take them down with a sword or blind them with the truth teller. Once you pick up the orb charge, I like to go back of where we enter to the room. Now another method I like to do is, of course, take down the unstoppable champion, but I decided to go with this route since I do not want to rush too much, since things can get a bit dangerous. So I decided to make a war myself. Take down as much as I can and use my super, do a dodge, and I'm going to take down the barrier champions. And over here, sometimes these barrier champions love to teleport, and there's just little bugs here and there throughout this Nightfall, and I really hope Bungie fixes this because I don't remember them teleporting all over the place. There are times where these barrier champions are on top of rocks, top of pillars, and then it glitches and teleports back in the bottom platform. Now over here you can actually turn invisible and take down the two barrier champions. Once you do, you can take down the unstoppable champion. So when taking down the unstoppable champion on the second phase, you will get a wave, well, a mini wave of adds. So always be careful when killing the unstoppable champion, well, the second one. Once you do take down the unstoppable champion, many waves of adds will spawn, and of course there's going to be more barrier champions at the back. Since I killed the unstoppable champion, there will be a mini waves of adds. You can go over here and just spam your truth teller to take them down, throw your nade, and then clear them down as quickly as possible. Or you could just take your time. There is no timer, and we're already at 100k, so you can take as much time as you can throughout this area. Now over here, many cabals are jumping around this little platform, so I was just taking my time, taking them down, and at the same time I was trying to make a war myself so I could easily take them down quicker. Then I finally did, and you can see here I'm trying to use the truth teller to destroy it and clear down all the adds. Once you clear down the adds, you can pick up the orb charge and then the anti-barrier will spawn. You can easily take them down with the lament. Now the most tricky part is around this part where there are 2 barrier champions. Now using a sniper in this Nightfall will be good, so I might use a sniper, big maybe next time. I really love the Truth Teller because you can blind enemies and it makes so much easier at the boss fight. So we're gonna take down the first barrier champion. Now another thing I like to mention is that barrier champion's buggy. Sometimes it likes to teleport everywhere. I'm not really sure why. It hasn't really done that the last time I've done this. I was trying to blind the gladiators or the slicers so they cannot kill me when I'm trying to do DPS at the barrier champion. I hold the charge button, gain my health, of course, with the lament to take them down quickly as possible. So now what you can do here is just spam your Truth Teller. You can see I kept missing some of my shots on the grenade launcher, fortunately. And you can use your finisher. And then once you do, you can pick up the last orb charge and proceed to the next area. When opening the door, there will be a mini minotaur and a couple of ads where they can be very aggressive. So for warlock and for titan, you could just throw your nade and take them down. For hunter, you can just turn invisible and proceed to the next area. So in this area, there's going to be a couple of remaining ads through the cave. I like to use the kinetic weapon just to farm Orb of Light for the lament. And of course, if you're lucky, if RNG is your best friend, you can get some heavy bricks. Which is why I put double sword ammo finder. That way I can have a high chance to get more sword ammo. That's one of the reasons why, and I felt like the lament was going to be more important than the Truth Teller. You can also put grenade launcher finder and sword ammo finder. It's everyone's playstyle, just to let everyone know. But in this video, I feel like lament is more important, so I decided to put double sword ammo finder. When going to the boss room, quickly go on the middle plate. There's gonna be waves of ads, and they will push towards you. What you can do here is quickly blind them, throw your nade, and if they are too close, then switch to the lament, and then take them down. So once you do activate the plate, the boss will spawn, and of course there will be remaining dogs, which I highly recommend to take them down first. So now I'm just using my emote just to see where the boss is and where the dogs are. Take down all of the dogs and then you could do some DPS at the boss. Alright, so the boss likes to throw this void fire, which I highly recommend you stay away from it as possible, because this void fire can melt you. Even with void resistance, it can melt you pretty bad on master version. So I was trying to do DPS with the lament, and you can see that this boss is very tanky. 2, sometimes it likes to teleport and lag a bit. 3, there is waves of infinite ads, especially depending how much DPS you do. And 4, this is one of the mini safe spots you can go. And of course there is a mini safe spot at the far right side and also the back way, where the cabals don't really push you so much, but you have to dodge the boss's void attack, which I highly recommend to be very careful. Now the reason why I'm in this spot is because the boss, when he does his void attack, it can go through this wall over here, as you can see. Now what you can do here is turn invisible, use the lament, and then quickly just back away to your mini safe spot. And like I said, depending how much DPS you do at the boss, there'll be waves of ads. And sometimes these cabals like to go on top of the pillars and shoot you, and there are times where it lags to the bottom platform, which can be very frustrating. Another thing I like to mention is these cabals like to throw grenades at you, which I highly recommend you stay away from it, or you can use a lament, the shield, to reduce damage from the attack. You can also spam the truth teller to blind the cabals if they are getting out of control. Always take down all the ads first, then do DPS at the boss. So like I said in this video, I'm just gonna go the slow and steady wins the race. I did had a run that I did want the aggressive player, but unfortunately I had a lot of bugs, one shot randomly from the gladiators, etc. And the boss spawned behind me and I died, so I decided to just go with this method since there's just too many bugs going on throughout this Nightfall, to be honest. Way too many bugs. So as you can see here, there's going to be infinite waves of ads, especially depending how much DPS you do at the boss. If things get out of control, you can go back here, and these cabals can be harmless, but like I said before, the boss can spam its void attack. As you can see here, you need to jump and avoid it as possible. The void fire is going to be your biggest threat than the boss. Second will be the ads, the cabals, and of course there's going to be these void cabals, which I will talk about later, not now. So there's really no need to rush. This is not legend mode also, so you could take as much time as you can. So I'm going to do DPS the boss, he's going to teleport the middle, and now we're going to activate the 3 plate. So there's going to be infinite waves of ads, especially when you step on the plate. Over here can be very dangerous, so I'm going to try my best to explain it as safe as possible. Spam the truth teller, throw your nade, throw the smoke, and once you activate the plate, you must dodge. And of course, you can use the lament to heal yourself when you charge the lament. As you can see, when you charge the lament, you'll have a fire shield, and then you can do DPS while getting your health back. So now over here, I'm trying to take a risk and go to the second plate. Now, another method you can do is go to the mini save spot from the left side, which I will show you very soon. If you're not feeling confident of going to this area without your super, then you can pull back, regain your cover, clear down a couple of ads, and then go to this plate. So now over here I decided to use my super, spam the truth teller, and get rid of these gladiators or these slicers, and be cautious with the void cabals where they can have their little backpack explode on you. So I activate the second plate, and I am going to go to the mini save spot. So the mini save spot, as you guys know, especially for Grandmaster, you can go all the way from the right side, which I will show very soon. I'm trying to remember if I did show it in this footage or not. Alright, but let's show the save spot. So there is a safe spot, and for some reason I decided to just run around in circles. And as you can see here, not a good idea to step on a plate and then get out of the plate. If you do get on the plate, then more of Wave of Infinite ads will spawn. So what you can do over here is wait for your super. And then just clear down the ads. Clear down the void cabals. And also if you don't have any lament, by the way, then what you can do over here is just farm for the heavy bricks. Do not have lament ammo enough. So now I'm just being a little reckless over here, and I decided to go capture the plate without my super. If you are feeling confident, then you can go over here and fight your way to activate the last plate. Always throw smoke and use a truth teller to blind the gladiators, the slicers, and of course the cabals. Over here you can see I was being very reckless, and like I said before, you can wait for your super for each plate. Slow and steady wins the race. And you can just stand here, farm your super, farm heavy bricks, and then you could just take them down. The second phase can be a bit dangerous. So the boss can move around on the second phase, and you can go all the way from the back side as you saw on the first phase of the boss. But in this video I decided to go to the safe strat and stand over here. But always be cautious where the boss can push you up in the air. As you saw it, he can use his void attack at you and then kill you if you touch the flames. Now we're gonna go to a method where we're going to wait for our charge. We're gonna wait for the invisibility, and then we're gonna take down the boss quickly as possible. Now you can see here that the boss did push me and I backed away and avoid the void fire. The safe spots is this area and all the way from the back. The back area is pretty safe as well, especially for Warlock and Titan. You can also go around that area with the Warlock, but always be cautious because sometimes you can accidentally fall down if you're not being too careful. So now what I'm doing over here is I'm dodging, and I'm going to use the lament and take him down quickly as possible. And of course use my super as you saw there. So now what I'm doing here is waiting for my dodge to go invisible and take him down quickly, the boss. Once I do, all the ads will clear out. And we finally beat the boss. Thank you so much for watching. So this is my highly disliked Nightfall because the boss fight has waves of infinite ads throughout the entire boss fight. Especially the second phase can be a bit reckless. Honestly, I think Truth Teller just helps so much for the Hunter subclass, since we don't have the bubble, the healing rip, etc. And especially for people who don't have Anarchy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.